A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. Jesus said, "I am the good shepherd. A good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. A hired man who is not the shepherd and whose sheep are not his own sees a wolf coming and leaves the sheep and runs away, and the wolf catches and scatters them. This is because he works for pay and has no concern for the sheep. I am the good shepherd. I know mine, and mine know me. Just as the Father knows me, and I know the Father, and I will lay down my life for the sheep. I have other sheep that do not belong to this fold. These also I must lead, and they will hear my voice. And there will be one flock, one shepherd. This is why the Father loves me, because I lay down my life in order to take it up again. No one takes it from me, but I lay it down on my own. I have power to lay it down, and power to take it up again. This command I have received from my Father." The Gospel of the Lord. Good morning. Today we celebrate the fourth Sunday of Easter, and we could call this perhaps Good Shepherd Sunday, because our Gospel today is Jesus' self-explanation as the Good Shepherd. And it makes me think about, of course, our own trust in Jesus as our Good Shepherd. Jesus tells us in the Gospel today, and we know from the story of the passion and death and resurrection of Jesus, that he, as the shepherd, will lay down his very life in order to protect and save his sheep. And this is something, of course, we especially rejoice in during this Easter season, as we recognize that through the passion and death of Jesus, he has indeed risen to new life and promises us a share in that life. This is our shepherd, the Good Shepherd. As I think about this concept of the Good Shepherd, and I try to apply it to my own life and perhaps to our situation in the world today, as I always ask when I reflect on the Scriptures, what does this have to do with me here and now? What does this have to do with us? And my thought is that we may be trying to understand how Jesus might be our Good Shepherd, and how that ministry of Jesus as the shepherd comes to us in practical ways in our lives today. We might think of those people in our own lives who have been like good shepherds to us. The first people who come to my mind are our parents. Our parents are those who, of course, give us life. They nurture us, they raise us, they put up with us. They teach us right from wrong. They're patient with us when we fail. Their love is unconditional. They chase after us if we are astray. Perfect example of the Good Shepherd, our parents. Perhaps people who might be like a good shepherds to us in our lives are our very close friends, the people with whom we can share everything about our lives without fear, the people who stand by us in good times and bad, the people who will help us when we are in need. Our friends are like good shepherds to us. They could be our teachers, perhaps our ministers in the church, people who show us the way, who teach us knowledge or give us knowledge and teach us in the ways of living a good and proper life with a foundation of all the essentials we might need to function in the world. But not only that, but to look forward, at least in a minister sense, to the rewards of living a good life and hoping for the best in the next life. These are all good shepherds to us. But Jesus also talks today in the gospel about the wolf who we might say comes in sheep's clothing, who fools us, who pretends to care for us, but really doesn't. Jesus compares the wolf to the hired servant who will run away when danger comes because he doesn't want to risk his own life to protect those under his charge, the sheep. Who are these kind of people in our lives? They might be people who cause us harm, people who wish to damage our reputation, people who bring us down and don't support us when times get rough. Maybe they come to us pretending to be our friends. They, as they say today, gas us up with good words and encouragement, but don't stand by it ultimately. These are the people who run away from us at the first sign of trouble. They're not dependable. They don't have our backs. Frankly, they don't care about us. And so somehow in our lives we have to distinguish between who are the good shepherds and who are those like the wolves. And furthermore, I think as we reflect on this, we might ask ourselves, what role do we play in our own personal lives in the way that we treat others? Do we approach our obligations to other people as the Good Shepherd does? Are we willing to sacrifice ourselves for the good of others? Are we willing to show unconditional love? Are we willing to forgive the faults of others? Are we willing to go the extra mile to serve those who are most in need? Or are we like those wolves who run away at the first sign of trouble, who don't care about the lives of those they've been thought to protect, perhaps even have hurt us or abused us, even in the name of God? There might be people like that out there, and we certainly don't want to be like that. So who are you? Are you like the Good Shepherd in this world to those who are around you, or are you something else? And today, as we reflect on Jesus as the Good Shepherd, we thank God that he lays down his life for us. He shows us the way, gives us hope. He promises never to abandon us. He loves us unconditionally, and he guides us to the Father. Today, as we celebrate this Mass, we thank God for Jesus, our Good Shepherd, he who gives us life and protects us. What better way to remember that than to gather around this table today and share in the very life of God as we share the Eucharist, the very presence of Jesus among us. Jesus, who always is our Good Shepherd. Let's encourage one another with this message of faith. Praised be Jesus Christ, now and forever. Alleluia, alleluia.